All right then. So yeah, we got Beck. Beck is down under in Australia, and the time difference is rather big right now. So yeah, it'd be good to hear a little bit about your progress and how far you come in the program, Beck. And if you want to take the floor for a few seconds, introduce yourself.
Sure. So I'm Beck. I am on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. So, like Reese said, it's a huge time difference. I am in marketing, so I prioritize strategy. I understand strategy. I love strategy, but I also love making content. So for me, I joined the program because I needed to learn how to communicate how important content was to clients and specifically video content, which was something that drew me obviously to Reese and his advertising. I was really drawn to the fact that he could communicate really effectively with me who knows marketing and knows what people are doing when they actually put an ad in front of me. But I was in. It was very impulsive for me. I was like, this guy knows what he's talking about. I've worked with a lot of coaches over the last few years. They've been predominantly in the female base, and it's been more about, manifestation and energetics. And I wanted more practical advice. I wanted somebody that could give me, I'm here. I wanted somebody that could give me some practical ways to strategize processes for getting clients onto my books and essentially creating outcomes for them specifically. And I needed help in how to literally communicate that because I knew how important video communication is, but my clients who are traditional business owners really don't understand what social media and social marketing could do for them. So I needed to sit at a table of people that had better skills than me and that were really excited about video and, that were nerding out on that. And that was this table, obviously, of forked creatives. For me, I joined the program as a bit of a rookie, and because my goals were to essentially build and create an agency like space where I'm dealing more with clients and customers and doing editing, but not the majority of it. I needed somebody that had that vision and that understood how to do that as a creative. And Reese has been so supportive the whole time, even though I think we've had similar conversations every time we've spoken. I can say without a doubt that this has been the most rewarding return on investment that I have spent with any coach. And that is probably because we kept going back to what mattered, and that was how to communicate effectively what content and what creative content could do for clients who didn't understand creative, probably valued it, but they didn't know why they valued it. So being able to communicate what that looks like for them, not so much what it looks like for me and creative, but giving that creative stuff a purpose in a business. So effectively bringing my passion for strategy and psychology into video communication. But the gap for me and the gap for I think most creatives is how on earth do we get the clients to see that and get paid what we think we're worth? Now, I'm sorry to just talk, but I am in Australia. I'm in a regional area in Australia. I am not in London. I'm not UK based. So when Reese was showing me some rates that I should be sharing, it kind of scared me a little bit. But to be honest, I started to really see why Reese would say you need to charge this much, not this much. And after I would sort of do see the results from my clients and see what they were getting, I realized how much value they were getting, even though I thought, you know what, how could I charge something similar to somebody in London? Um, and at the end of the day, my clients, they make money, they've got established businesses, and they are happy to spend the money. They just need to see why it's going to benefit them. And that is something I've really learned in Forked Creatives. I've really loved doing the content for my clients, but building the relationships with them and becoming more of that growth partner that Reese talks about a lot and being able to educate them on what that means because I find that once you find a client that you work well with and that likes you and that likes working with you, it's a relationship. And being that growth partner that's invested, um, what a lot of the like what I began charging meant that I was charging for all the little bits and pieces that I was doing for my clients in that relationship. So I became a growth partner and I became somebody that could be on call with people and be really invested and passionate about their goals, but I was still getting paid for that because I had accounted for that in my invoicing. So I didn't it meant that I had a great relationship with them. They loved me, I loved them, and we were working together in their business for their business. However, I was still extremely independent and not having to become an employee for them.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and that's quite a good summary actually. And I say this all the time, like the being a growth partner, being an asset for somebody can look like many things. And over the past, let's say, 100 years, it has looked like many things for people, depending on how the businesses reinvested in themselves to grow. Now, the one of the best places they can put their money now is in an attention economy, meaning there's already a screen in front of everybody's face already. We're all like this every day. Screen time's up to God knows what, how much. So we don't need to make that happen. That's already happening. So that is where you put the emotionally invoking content to move people along a buyer's journey for that awareness to get them to purchase. And video is the best place to put it, one of the best places to put it. And if you can learn, like that's the thing with for creatives is like there's obviously other options for people out there if they want to invest in themselves. But we predominantly are for creative people to learn how to use our creative skills as filmmakers, content creators, videographers, whatever you want to call yourself, as creatives who use video. Um, to use that creative skill set we've got to be an asset, to actually have that path in front of you and know how to do that. And yeah, you've just been really, really coachable and really easy to communicate with, and really, just listen to what I've said, and also listen to what the community have said. And there's been obviously some really good progress as you've mentioned. So off the back of that, are there any recent deals that you're comfortable talking about that you think are worth mentioning, or any recent, I don't know, good months or anything like that you'd want to have a chat about?
I think for me, my biggest thing is that I've worked out where I sit when I want to put a label on myself. So I have worked out that the most comfortable like label for me is social marketer. Sorry, video marketer. And so with me, I might not have the cinematography skills, but I'm definitely not just a content creator that, holds a phone like a tripod. Um, for me, being able to video market clients and their skills is like, it's so exciting because they've been working so hard for so long in their business. They have these skills, they've already have an established business, but coming in and being able to bring that to life is like, it's really exciting because it's what they've been doing. We're just creating the advertising essentially for them in a social marketing world. Um, for me, seeing clients take their quoting from $100 a client to like literally $10,000 for the same quote, because they've become dominant in they've literally just showed up on social media, and what they've done is they've outsourced that job to me. We've been able to create content of the stuff they do every single day. They don't have time to do it. They barely have time to reply to emails when you send them a quote. And so what happens is once we show up on social media and we're not a coach and we're not in the e-commerce digital world yet, that then positions that brand just by showing up. I'm not even talking about like high quality content, even though that's what we're doing because they're not DIYing it. Once they position themselves by showing up in the social platforms, whatever platform works for them, they instantly can quote and charge more. So we've had clients go from $100 quote to 10,000 for the same service or product. Um, And we've had clients charge like get a quote confirmed in the DMs on Instagram for a six-figure quote off a reel. Like, and I'm not saying the reel did that, but the fact that the reel was there, if the reel wasn't there, who would they go to? Somebody that has that reel, has a reel showing similar products that a friend or family shared or tagged or did those little things that business owners can't really wrap their head around why it's important. When you can see that, you validate your work, but also they're like, shit, this works, let's go again. And that's been massive for me. But then off the cuff of that, I'm a mum, I have children, I have work, I have a marriage I need to attend to. We have busy, busy days. And so for us, for me specifically, like having an $18,000 week is phenomenal. I'm like, oh, this is so exciting. I mean, it comes with other things, but like I'm like, wow, this is like you kind of I think as a creative, we're like, this is fun, this is easy. And you've said it to me, Reese, like as soon as a client starts talking to me, my brain goes into creative strategy straight away. And the penny dropped for me when you said that's like basically, it's almost like it's priceless. Like you can't, it's hard to tangibly price something that feels really natural. It feels fun. It feels energizing for us. So when you can tangibly like return on that for yourself and then see that in like a bank account, like I'm in business to get paid, but I don't want to do something that I hate. I also have done creative stuff forever, and being able to get paid and then get paid really well in a week and like look at your bank account, like it's like you just like go head down, head down, head down, hustle, go for it. And then you look at things getting paid in that week and you go, oh my God, like what? Like that's a lot of money, I think, in a 7-day period. For
Absolutely, it is. Yeah.
for- yeah, for skills and for enjoyment. I'm not like that's profit when it comes to, it's my
Yeah.
time and my skills and my energy. And that's really profound for me. So yeah, that was
Mm.
a good week. Let's do that every week.
That is a
It's
good week. That's
AUD,
a
so it's
very
not
good
pounds,
week.
not pounds, but it's still good.
Still though, that's still like 9, 10 grand in pounds a week. It's a phenomenal paycheck. So yeah, happy days. And like going back again to what I said earlier about like creatives. When creative people are so valuable and but the general creative person tends to undervalue themselves. They don't think their work sometimes has a place in some like broader huge money making strategies for people. But as you just said, like, and you're just one person and we see it all the time. The creative work is the heart and it is the heart of any sort of strategy. Again, especially in today's attention economy, where everyone is watching, everyone's consuming content now, and so creatives have got an even bigger space in the world now. For like before, you could just say, okay, they made music, they made films, they made this, they made that. But now, because every company pretty much out there does need a video strategy, there's so much work out there for creatives, and it's like some people who may be watching this may not think there is, but there really is when you got the right approach and the right strategies. Um, you can really turn your creativity into a massive asset, and that's what we've got people do, and obviously help yourself do. So lovely stuff. And so, if in summary, and to summarize it, like how did you view yourself before jumping in the program in comparison to how you view yourself and what you can offer now? Like, how would you summarize it?
Yeah, so I think now I can just clearly follow like a procedure. Like I'm still like, hey, this is how I'm going to propose this, and then this is how I'm going to show the client. So I'm still like almost in step one of the program, but I use it all the time. And so for me, I have like this strategy that I'm doing more often. It's becoming such a second nature. And then you go and do the work and you realize why step one is so important. And so for me, getting that down pat and realizing why it's important. And then the justification becomes easier. You become more confident. You say no to some work or you say yes to some works, or you just being able to communicate it is obviously so important. this industry, social marketing, is infant. It is so young, it is so unknown, and business owners are getting in. I see it. So in Australia, we have a recruitment online website called Seek. And about 12 months, no, like 18 months ago, I was like, what should I do? I can create content. Like, those are my skills. I'd come out of the coaching space of marketing and I wanted to apply myself to content. So I went for a job. Um, I logged on to Seek and I saw some jobs in my local area, 20 hours a week, content creator. And I did a few interviews, and I'm so glad I obviously didn't get those jobs because not getting those jobs led me to, obviously like creating content for businesses. And for me, I originally wanted to just create like 3 reels a week for businesses. And I was like, if I just get 4 businesses, I'll do 3 reels a week, 4 businesses. That's $1,000 a week, essentially, if I charge $1,000 a month per client. And I'm like, that's literally a wage. Like, that's replacing this job interview I went for. And, $1,000 a week versus $18,000 in a week, like a big jump. And it's essentially doing the same work. So I understood what I was providing them. Now I'm just communicating it and I'm getting paid well for it. And it's not so much that I'm getting paid well for it and like that's great. It's more just like it makes it easier from my perspective to if I want to over deliver, if I can help them with more things, to expand, to get help on, some shoots, like having the extra help, someone to watch the audio, a drone footage, like things that I can't do by myself. Having that budget to do that provides better stuff for the client and it makes my job easier, but it provides better work. And I'm like, that's something I didn't really, it was a blind spot that I didn't see. But now when I still get the emails from Seek. And each week on social media and in Seek, I see this every week. Every business is looking for a content creator inside. So for me, it just validates what I'm doing, but it also shows me how much potential and how limitless the future is for this industry, but also like how how much I realized I'm like in the first wave, which sounds
Yeah.
crazy because social media has been around for so long. But the people I want to work with, the business owners, the leaders in their industry, are the people that have taken the jump and are creating content for their business. Because there's still businesses out there making millions of dollars and they've literally posted like 3 feed posts on Instagram in like the last 3 years, but they could be getting easier clients converted. They could be getting higher paying clients. And it's just like showing them what's possible for them, is like something that it's exciting that that potential is there for them. And then obviously it's there for us as well, but they make more money. So we have the opportunities there for us. Like if we can show them how to make more money. And that's something my brain has always been like, oh, you like landscaping. How can we make that into a job for you? How can we promote that? And people don't naturally like that part of owning a business. Whereas that's my brain is just always in that. So I've always wanted to know, like, how could you make money off this? Like it's your passion. Like, so it's for me, I've been able to jump from going for an interview, not knowing what to do next in a like time of like change and transition. Um, Looking at Seek advertisements, working for someone else for 20 hours a week and probably $500 and kind of just like a job, to being able to obviously invoice out and get paid really, really well and have a lot of freedom and creativity, freedom as well, which is all I want. I just want to do things that I
Yeah.
enjoy and not have to worry too much about, you know, um, how I'm going to pay for my life.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things we chatted about, if I'm remembering correctly, the first time we spoke. Like I do like to, if someone wants to join the program, 'cause it's not like for everybody, you know what I mean? It's for
Yeah.
people like yourself, more creative people, people who are really interested in becoming like an asset and using their creative skills to do that. And I think I asked you on our first call, I probably got it stored somewhere, what your motivation behind it was, and I remember time, just having more time obviously more money and more time and being more use was one of your biggest motivations. So now you're saying that back, I've just remembered you saying that, and yeah, nice little full circle moment there.
There you go. There you
There
go.
you go. And then what would you say? What would you say you found the most helpful in the program then? Obviously, there's Culture and Me, there's the community, there's the course material itself, where we have in-person days. You have sadly haven't made those over in London yet, but yeah, what would you say as you know what parts have been the highlights for you? Would you say?
Yeah, so it was really hard to get on a call at 3 a.m., but I did sometimes. So for me, I would watch back the calls while I was doing things. So I found them that those little bits and pieces really helpful. Obviously, there's the Slack community where we can ask questions. I've sent you many DMs, so having you there just to like sort of, voicemail to you and then have a problem solved really quickly for me because you've had the experience and you have the level head that I don't have. And being able to help me just with that little thing with the client, that's just something that was really potent for me. It helped me just like move to the next bit in my business. Um, those two parts were really helpful guiding me along the way. Um, the pro the program itself, like I will forever just go back to that and go back and watch something and take notes and rewatch it and rewatch it. I think there's a few pieces in there that I've rewatched multiple times. Um, so having that video there is really good for me learning. But obviously, the calls each week, like you keeping me accountable, and in a really practical way, because I've had other people sort of say, go and do this next, but you're like, okay, we've got this problem. Let's solve this. This is what you need to go do. And look, I'm like, I'll follow it 9 out of 10 points, but being able to be like, okay, I went and did that and I've got these clients. What do I do next? Like, can't, I wouldn't, no one around me would have been able to help me with that. Like you've had the experience, you're very clear with your communication and what to do next, and probably felt like a broken record for you, but just bringing back to that compass and being like, go back to this bit, go rewatch this, and then do this. And I think that was really different to other coaches, which I don't know whether it's because, you're very good at communication or whether it's because you have less words to like I've had
Mm,
female coaches until this point, and having someone that could just identify and say, go do this and give me that simplistic like step really, I think the calls for me were probably the biggest thing, and then the content in the actual course, and then having that backup of the community support was really, really good. I tried to get on the
mm.
calls, but I was tired.
Yeah, yeah, we have got some. They are varied sort of in terms of time, but yeah, fair enough. I know you. They haven't been as suitable, but the ones we've had have been great. But I think
I still
to go
score
back to
them, but mm,
yeah, yeah, I think to go back to the culture, I think what creative people are better at is understanding other human beings and understanding other people and how everybody's different and it's not a one size fits all. And that's the beauty of humanity, isn't it? Like if everyone is the same, it'd be fucking boring. Like so, I think what makes a good coach is a creative person who then understands people and can also be very objective about things, whilst obviously being delicate if you need to about things that you don't want to be too on the nose with things. But I think it's understanding how people learn and how people work more than anything. And then once you get to know somebody on a after 2 3 calls, you can see how they work the week in week out. It's just trying to navigate that and how to hold them accountable. And I think like yeah, sometimes I think for you personally, it's been up until this point, it's like, okay, up for like a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days afterwards, you follow the structure and then maybe blend back into what you're doing before. So I think like regular checkups really has really helped you just achieve your goals a lot sooner. Um, and it's just understanding how people work. I think that's pretty much what all it is really, and that's why we're sat here on this chat. It's just like I think I've understood how you work, and we've been able to communicate what needs to be done quite clearly and following it, and here we are. So happy days, like. And then is there anything you'd say to anyone who's thinking of jumping in for creatives, who's on the
yeah.
fence a little bit?
Yeah, so I definitely say like go for it. Like it is scary to jump in, but you know what? I think on the other side of it, like I said, I've had the best return from this program from since any other one. And but the thing is that it is scary and it is like, oh, like I think we get scared because we're doubting ourselves more than anything. So just like jump in, however that looks for you. Like talk to Reese. Reese is really like you said, like he will deal with the person, not just like the outcome, like getting another person into Forked Creatives. So, you know, once you jump in, and as scary as that is, and it was scary for me, like I've got a lot of financial responsibility outside of just, doing things to better my business. So I jumped in, I was scared shitless because I was like, oh my God, am I gonna like like, is this gonna be another coaching program that I join? But I did the work. So I was hungry for work. I followed the process, that Reese is teaching you. And then I just like came to him with what to do next. How can I get this outcome? What's next for me? And just those little micro moments and the micro steps have just accumulated and compounded. And we've both had personal stuff in the timeline that I've been joined, but just kept coming back to, you know, Reese could have easily just gone, whatever, you know, she's not asking for 100 calls. It doesn't matter. She's down in Australia, it's a different time limit. But he was just like, let's get on a call. Like, let's get on a call. And it was just like the next thing moving it along. So, yeah, I'd say like the fears and doubts that you might be feeling are probably more personal and more internal. So maybe communicate that and back yourself, and then follow the process. Because if you just commit to the habits that Reese is teaching you to do in this, you will get your outcomes. You just have to do it. So all the doubts and stuff. And I think if someone is super doubty and not going to join, then they're probably not ready for the program yet. But if someone's like, you're on the edge and you're a 9 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10, like just blindly like hit, I'm ready to go now, because like the rest is up to you on the other side of that decision. It's a decision really.
Mm.
But just yeah, just go for it.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And being in the position I am, seeing people come in to the program, some people talk a big talk and say they're going to do this and do that, and they don't even show up. And there's no accountability that I can give people because I don't even get the opportunity to speak to them. But then some people do show up. Most people do show up, and they make the most of their investment. But I think like to go back on what you said, like that it does require work. It does require you got to work hard. You got to stick to habits. You got to nothing worth having comes easy, especially these days. There's so many ads on. I'm seeing ads on Instagram. There's lots of people offering you all sorts of shit and like saying you can get this 30K deal by this weekend if you just follow these. It's just like no, you fucking won't. Like if unless you've got um decades worth of experience already and you know all the stuff already. Like it's just not going to happen. I just have to be transparent with people. Like if you're going to come in, it's going to be you gotta work hard at it because nothing worth having comes easy. But you got to be coachable. You got to be willing to shift your mindset a little bit. And you've, tick, tick, tick. All those boxes are ticked with you. And like I said earlier, that's why we're sat here. So yeah, I think you've answered any questions I've had. You've said some lovely things, and and outside of the fact of recording a testimonial video, it's just really nice to obviously to you the changes this occurred in your life. So happy days, Beck.
I
It's
will.
lovely to hear it.
Can I can I add one thing? Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Like I'm not the most skilled in the video side of things, but for me, I think the thing that moves me along is that I didn't have to be completely 100% perfect, and that wasn't from a video marketer's perspective. Like the I needed to get my customer's message in the video, get it out there and get it done. And I think sometimes people procrastinate that, like getting it done and it being perfect and worrying about that. And that might be another reason why people like are scared to jump in is they're like every timing needs to be perfect and my skills need to be at this bar. And I'm like, no, I'm not at that bar and I'm not the best. I'm not the most creative, but moving it along, getting results for my client, that was important. And it's the internet. So we don't have to be perfect when we start. We just have to get going. Like if we get going, we're gonna get better. Like my skills are way better now than they were video wise, but I'm still not the best. But that doesn't matter because the marketing, the video, and the outcome is there.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. And that's it. As long as you can see, it's like it's always about outcomes. As long as you can decipher what that outcome actually is in as much detail as possible, then you know where, the finish line is, and you just got to run there and map it out there with your creativity. And that's it. It doesn't have to be perfect. But yeah, it's brilliant, brilliant point to add as well. It's like perfectionism slows you down
Mm,
in this process and in life, in my opinion. And done is better than perfect. Let's just get it done and get moving and get on with it, and not be too living in too much fear that what people will think. And honestly, because that procrastination is rooted in fear, and that all
mm,
comes from the work you've got to. That's why mindset as well is a massive part of it. I'm sure we could have a separate conversation about that as well.
yeah.
Mindset is a huge part of the program, and like a lot of our decision making or lack of decision making is rooted in fear, and that makes you procrastinate. It makes you try and be a perfectionist, etc., etc., etc. That's another story. Let's draw a line there, though, Beth. Thank you very much for your
Yeah.
time.
Thank you.
That's all right. I'm gonna jump off to bed after this because it's nearly midnight. But
Yes,
yeah, thank
I'm
you
gonna
very
let you
much for
go.
your
That's all right.
time.
See ya. Have a good night.
Nice one. You too.